All right, what's up, good people? It's your boys, the Beards of War, and we're back again. All right, so it's myself, Thick Nick Fury. You got FBR for President, Fat Broken Rambo, Light It Up, Scorched Earth, and Hey Captain Jack. Today, man, we're gonna dig in the crates a little bit. We're gonna get it back to 1987, and we're gonna come at you with Predator. All right, so if you haven't seen this movie, spoiler alert, I don't even know what to tell you. If you haven't seen the movie by now, what are you doing? But before we get into it, hey FBR, man, what kind of recommendations we got? What trailer recommendations we got for them?
Yeah, man. So, hey, today Warner Brothers dropped the full trailer for Ryan Coogler's next film with Michael B. Jordan called Sinners. It's giving off, man, wall to wall from Dust Till Dawn vibes, and I'm all in, dude. It looks fucking fantastic. He's playing
Oh,
twin brothers in the movie, and there's a nice twist in the trailer. I won't ruin it. Go check it out, man. It looks awesome. Um, I
I
will
can't
tell you
wait.
this. I'm also watching this show right now. My wife and I were watching it last night called Paradise. It's on Hulu. It's, Sterling K. Brown and James Marsden. Sterling K. Brown plays the lead agent in charge of the Secret Service detail for the president. President ends up being unalived, and the kind of the mystery and their relationship and the twist, man, at the end of episode one. Is definitely gonna knock some people for through a loop. I'm kind of interested to see what the feedback looks like. Second and third episode drop tonight. It's on Hulu. It's an FX show. Fantastic, man. I'm all in. I think it's a really cool twist. It's not what you think it is. Trust me.
Okay. Hey, I like it. It sounds good to me. I'm looking forward to Sinners. I've
Yeah,
been
man,
saying that
that's
for
gonna
a
be
couple
good.
months now, man. It looks like it's going to be a great movie.
Yeah.
Again, it's one big thing missing if you're going to compare it to Dust Till Dawn. I won't say what that is. But anyway, so as we were saying, hey man, you got some retired vets here. We're going to dig in the crate sometime, and we're digging in the crates today, man. We're going to 1987. Again, Arnold Schwarzenegger. You got Carl Weathers. You got Bill Duke, Sonny Landham, Jesse Ventura. Like you know these guys, man, and we're gonna go into the jungles of Latin America, and we're gonna get unalived. That's basically what the mission is. All right. This the Predator. If you don't know, is from another planet. I don't know another. So I don't know where he's from, but he's here for one purpose, and that's to hunt and kill. And this movie is for me is probably I would say one of those action films that teeters on horror a little bit, but it was just the casting was great. Very diverse cast, which I also loved. You know, you had like your Native American representation, black, white, Hispanic. Like, it was just the team. You know, the guys that went in, they had a mission to pull off, and you know, as you know what happened. So, Predator, played by the late Kevin Peter Hall, who died. I mean, at the age of 35 back in '91, I believe. So I think shortly after this film came out, he
Yeah.
passed away.
I think he was actually able to film the second one
But that's right. Yeah,
before he
right.
passed.
Right before he passed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the costume of the Predator was phenomenal. Even back then, we're going back, like I said,
Yeah.
1987. And when he took that helmet, I'm like, wow, this dude, like, it really legit looked like somebody from another planet. It wasn't like a cheap, costume. But who wants to dig in, man? Who wants to go first with this? Because this is so many things for this movie, man. It's a great movie.
I could talk this movie for 4 hours, man, easily.
Wow, let's go.
Score, take
30
it away,
minutes.
man. Go for it.
Uh, yeah, this is truly one of the, I'll call it one of the original A teams, right? It wasn't the A team, but they're kind of like an A team, dude. It was awesome. I will say, man, I wish Billy had more in it. For Billy to go out when he did, it
So
was
disappointing.
so disappointing. Like, dang, man, I wanted to see some action from Billy. But yeah, dude, I agree with everything. This was a great one of my favorite all-time favorite movies. From all the little one-liners from Arnold, like Della and the CIA have you pushing too many pencils or like measuring arm size and strength. And it was just great. Oh, what's his name? I messed it up again. Was it Billy Duke or
Bill Duke.
Back.
Bill Duke?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
his true name. But with you can see he had some PTSD in that movie, just shaving in the middle of the woods with a bic and broke it and the blood, and he's like up through them trees, you see. But yeah, just great lines in the movie. The action was great, explosions everywhere, kind of something you would expect to see in an 80's action flick slash, sci-fi thriller-ish movie. All in all, great movie, man. If you guys haven't seen it, you got to go see this. It's just phenomenal.
Yeah, it's currently streaming on Peacock. But like just the storyline,
Yeah.
we have the group Arnold Schwarzenegger's group of mercenaries, I guess as you could put it. They're kind of called in for a rescue mission. I believe they're trying to rescue some hostages. They're fed the story. That's the story they're
Yeah.
fed. We're going on a rescue mission, but meanwhile, Dylan, which is played by Carl
Carl
Weathers,
Weathers.
he has, other plans. Always that little side mission. It's like, okay, yeah, we're going over there for
CIA.
that, but it was really a different mission, right? So he goes in with them, and they get there and they find out things aren't really, what what they were once they kind of went through the guerrilla who were just minding their own business, I guess, because the Predator was not upset with these people at all. Like, he didn't seem to have any animosity toward the guerrillas, but once the Americans hit sand, he wanted to kill them all.
So,
But
They weren't a good enough trophy.
right, and it's like in these wood huts, there were so many explosions. Like, what is blowing up? Like, this is just the 80's though. Like, it didn't matter. Like, a grenade can literally blow up two buildings. You know what I
I'm
mean?
just
So it's
saying,
just
man.
one of them things, man.
When I carried a 203 in the military, like I was just looking for a helicopter to blow the fuck out of. Like, seriously, like that 203 mango, like we're not even talking about
Oh,
army distances or rotations or any of that shit, man. Like everyone hip fires in this movie. Like no one cares, man, because we grew up on this movie as a kid. So this is directed by John McTiernan, who's also a fantastic director. Did like 13th Warrior, but most of us know him from directing Die Hard and Die Hard with a Vengeance. He's a phenomenal action director. I got to give it off to the music in this though, man. And the orchestra music that they wrote for this film has transcended across all of the sequels, and it's
yeah.
fantastic. And when you hear it, you're just like, damn. You almost expect to hear like the little Predator click that he makes, the little
Oh yeah,
noise.
yeah.
I can't echo it, but
Everybody knows it though.
yeah, everybody knows it, right? So like I watched
Jeff and
one
Knight.
one other YouTuber that did a really good breakdown of this film a couple of years ago, and he was like, this film is pretty much almost every genre of film that you could imagine smashing together in one, and it works almost flawlessly. You got your basic action, that's about your first 30 minutes of it. Pretty much once they take the prisoner there, Anna, then it becomes like a thriller, and then it evolves into like a horror film by the end of the movie, and it's just fantastic, man. I watched this movie with
Yeah.
my dad, and when we first watched it when it first came out, he actually missed the sequence where you see the Predator ship actually land on Earth. So 30 minutes into it, and Arnold's killed like, I don't know, half the random South American fake name country soldiers by hip firing and throwing, I don't know, ankle machetes at people. Um, I mean, stick around. I mean, come on, man. Like, it doesn't get more 80s than this. It evolves into something deeper. And to your point, Chris, I think that the Predator didn't attack the rebels. I'm sorry, Eric. Didn't attack the rebels because he's a hunter, man. He's not going to attack a pack like that because they outnumber him. They've got firepower, right? So he sits there and studies his enemy, man. And then these guys show up and he's like, oh, I don't need to worry about 40 dudes anymore. I have to worry about these
Yeah,
seven. And then he just starts picking them off.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, so then eventually the hunted start figuring out that they're being hunted, and they start laying they have this awesome sequence where everybody, like fucking does the 80s thing and shows off their guns, and they pull down a tree
Right.
and make some awesome like old school booby traps. And then Mac, the
Oh my,
true fucking senior NCO that he is, shaving in the fucking wood line while waiting. Like so many questions, man, but like that's when you know he's fucked up, right? That's when you're just like, we should probably give him blanks. He's willingly shaving in the field. He's retired. I mean, he's out, man. He's a private contractor now. He's probably
right.
shaving in the field.
And he's
Oh,
singing an old R&B song to
Oh yeah, man.
himself.
no, but
And
Yeah.
the funny part was like after they basically plow through this, guerrilla camp, right? Like Dutch asked them, like, "Are there any more hostages?" I'm like, "No, they're all like they gotta be dead. Like if there were, we definitely didn't check for any.
It's like we
Like
got
it might be
one.
part two
I ain't
one
got
over
time to,
there.
I ain't got time
Like
to
I don't
bleed.
know. Like there
I
might be
got
a few
time to
body
bleed.
parts over there, but I think they're all dead, bro. I think they killed them all. We didn't do it. They killed them all. But fanfire, like me and my girl watching, I'm like, she's like, I don't even understand how they didn't shoot each other. I'm like, babe, neither do I, because I mean there was no like flank plan, like okay, God, just go and blow stuff up, and that's all they did. They just went in blowing stuff up, and everybody's just firing unlimited ammo. That's what you gotta love about the 80's, unlimited ammo. Like I don't
Oh,
care
so good.
what you got,
Uh,
it's not running out
so I will say,
until you
yeah,
clear the entire forest because somebody saw something. And that's it. It's just like
yep.
running. When someone takes off running, you run. When someone starts shooting with a mini, you start shooting. Don't ask no questions. He ain't gonna hear you anyway. Just start firing. And I think what they caught him in the leg, like one
Yeah.
shot in the leg, that he does the whole Rambo repair kit and but okay, wait,
Isn't it
all
like
right.
something crazy, like 3,000 rounds a second or 3,000 rounds a
Oh,
minute? Some
Yeah.
goofy
something.
shit like that. And you're telling me that
They could have put a
the
Walmart after they
fucking
cleared that place
alien
out.
is running straight away from you. Like
Yeah.
you'll get
That's
it
a
with
tight
that thing.
dude.
Trust me.
It was a tight group.
And
Yeah,
then they
it
say, oh, there was no
was a
trace. We
tight
didn't hit
group.
anything. Meanwhile, there's neon green blood on a leaf
Yeah.
that the lady found, but we didn't hit anything. Well, so what is the glowing green stuff right there?
Shot
Like
him
you
in the
missed.
chem light, duh.
Yeah,
Right,
his chem lights
or
are
I didn't say
screwed.
that. Like, okay, I think that's chem lights. No, bro, they literally bled the dude, and no one kind of picked up on that. So all right, I'll let that go.
Well, at
But
least they let the mini run out, right? Like, okay, it was unlimited for quite a while, and then the mini finally ran
oh,
out.
that barrel would have
But,
been
bro,
smoking hot
he would
after
have had
that.
a malfunction well
Yeah, I was
before
just thinking
that.
of the back pain I'd have humping that thing through the fucking wood line, man, because he also had an MP5.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, again, man, in the 80's, bro, you're
Yeah,
just pure muscle back then. Like, no one cares about how heavy something is. You just lug it through the forest.
right,
And we're
man.
talking about the jungle, right? Like, so it's
Yes.
hot. You got this heavy, minigun that you're lugging
Yeah.
through. Bro, I'd have been already like passed out back there somewhere. Like, man, look, y'all come find me when stuff starts to go down, man. I'm not walking around with
I'll
this
be
thing.
in the Fallout vehicle.
Right? Yeah.
Pretty much the entire team was yoked. If and that still doesn't give them a pass on this, but everybody was yoked except I forget his name, the guy with the
Hawkins.
glasses. Yeah.
Hawkins. Yeah, Shane Black.
Hawkins.
He
Yeah.
Yeah.
helped. I think he helped write it. No, he directed The Predator, so you're welcome for that.
Right.
We're not going to talk about that one though. I will say that for those of you guys that are interested, if you've not seen the footage of Jean-Claude Van Damme as a Predator, the first initial concept,
Oh,
highly recommend it, man.
man, yes.
Can't say I blame the guy for calling it quits on it. He looked like a fucking fucked up lobster, man. It was weird. It's just all kinds of weird. But
Yeah, no, they definitely went the right way with Kevin Peter Hall, man.
yeah, and Stan
7'3".
oh my god,
I
dude, the guy was
Yeah.
fucking huge,
oh,
man.
oh, dude, like, and then when I saw it, so you really don't get to see the Predator like an hour into the film, right? So that's like your
And yeah, and
typical,
even then,
like,
it's just
Godzilla movie, right? Like Godzilla's like, oh, it's Godzilla. Meanwhile, you don't get to see him till like the movie's half over.
yeah,
So like about an hour in, I counted 53 minutes is when you get to see the Predator, right? And that's like when he kind of comes, like out of his camouflage and he's fixing
Yeah.
himself or whatever. So you finally get to see sort of what you're dealing with. But once like he follows like Arnold through and jumps in the water, like coming out of that water, that scene, I was like, oh, this is a big
Yeah.
Jamaican. Like this, like, I'm like, this dude is a dread. And he's got this helmet, and then you see that like when he takes the helmet off to fight him, like the hissing, like
dude,
they
that was
went
so
all
good.
out. They went
Yeah.
all out with this costume. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. And then you see like the mandibles and the way they move.
Yep.
I mean, it was just phenomenally done, man. It wasn't even like, oh no, that looks fake. It didn't. It looked like, okay, this is a legit, alien, especially back in 1987. But
Yeah,
that was
that was
saying
great.
it says the time today. Like, yeah, like I don't think you can do much better than that and not be CGI. And that's the
No.
beauty of having that ability, that art, that creativity is to do that live with a person, with prosthetics, with makeup, and not just okay, put it on the computer and this is
In the
put it on
jungle.
screen. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I don't know how that dude survived. That might be what helped kill him. But having all that on in that setting and doing all the stuff they did physically, just great. And again, he's picking these guys off one by one. And I think we all kind of felt it for Billy. Like we were like, okay, Billy only want to work on this dude, right? So he does the whole tribal
Damn
thing.
it,
He
Billy.
throws down the gun. He pulls out the machete. And I'm like, oh, I wanted that. Ever since I saw that machete, I wanted that machete, man. I've been looking for it ever since. He does a little tribal cut across the chest, and all you hear is screams. I'm like, wow, really? You didn't even slow him down? Like,
No, he
trip
did
him to
not.
do something. Nah,
Yeah, he
Billy
fucked
just
Billy up too, man.
yeah.
'Cause you see him that one split second scene later when he rips the spine out,
Right.
and you're just like, it looks like he just shredded down his face, man. You're just, oh damn.
And initially, I was gonna go with a little conspiracy theory because what is the thing about action or horror movies? If you don't have a body, you don't have a death,
Never
right? So I'm like,
happened.
okay,
Never.
we didn't see Billy die. Maybe he just fell off the log. I don't.
Yeah, I'm sure he's
Nope.
fine.
That's why he was screaming.
Not
That
service
fall.
connected.
Nope, he's not fine. He's not fine. He got his spine ripped out by the predator. Like he's not fine. But yeah, it was disheartening to see Billy go up like that, and
Yeah.
and you got Blaine, who was played by Jesse Ventura, who had the best one-liners I think in the entire film. This stuff turned into a sexual tyrannosaurus, like this weird stuff. Like I ain't got time to bleed. Like he was one of those guys that just there to do a job, right? And he had like going around with the mini. Everybody wanted a mini. Oh man, that is dope. But
And a real seal.
a later shot to the chest is a later
Yeah.
shot to the chest. I don't care
That
how
it
much
is.
muscle you got.
Yeah,
I
everybody
think-
liked him back then, but then I think as he grew in his fame or infamy, depending on how you look at it. In his career, it's kind of like, oh man, he became
Yeah, when you go into
conspiracy
politics,
theorists
bro.
and
Yeah.
hanging out at Area 51, and you're like, yeah, he's an interesting cat. I met him once briefly. Interesting guy. He came to give a motivational speech, and it's kind of like, okay, yeah, whatever. And that was in his politics days. But I loved him in the movie, man. Loved him in the movie. He was one of my favorite characters. It was between him, Arnold, and Bill Duke. For me, were the best.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Billy would have been had he not fallen off that log, but that scream did it in for me. I'm like, damn it, Billy. Damn it.
Yeah.
Why, Billy?
Yeah,
But
I
he
kind of
said
felt
it.
the same
Said
way
we were all
about
gonna
Poncho,
die.
man. Like I actually thought Poncho was gonna get more of a fight, but
Yeah.
not so much. Forgot to duck.
Yeah. You get a tree trunk to the chest, man. That kind of
Yeah, but
changes the game.
he had the grenade launcher, man. Like he doesn't love the guy with the
Uh,
grenade launcher.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
it still leads in like one of the best quotes in the movie for me is when Arnold like looks at me, he's like, "Wait, don't pick up the weapon. He didn't kill you because you weren't armed. No sports."
No sport. Yeah.
And that, and once, dude, yeah, man, I remember the first time the Predator comes out of the water and all the fizzling sparks and shit from his armor, like deflects, he turns off his cloak. It's just like, God, you know. But man, when fucking Schwarzenegger is finally confronted with him after he's lost the mud and he takes off the helmet, you see them, oh, dude.
You
And
are
then,
Yeah.
one ugly.
and then he hits him with the fucking, like this piece of wood and then he just holds up his forearm and it breaks. It's like, bad idea. And he knows he's just about to take a world of pain.
Yeah, and he did, man. He just, and the funny thing was, like, they still put like some comedy in the fight, right? So like when Arnold punches him, you see it's like him kind of move that one mandible, like, okay, and then he just socks him right back. I'm like, oh my god, dude! It was just, it was like literally like Arnold didn't stand a chance physically. He really didn't. Like
Especially
it
in the
wasn't even going
last
to be
round.
close, right? It wasn't even going to be close. But the funny thing that I found about that sequence was, he realized, okay, with the mud, he can't see me, right? And then the dude proceeds to light a big bonfire. I'm like, okay, well, I guess he can't see you, bro, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna pick up on that fire you just made in the middle of the jungle. Like
That was the
maybe he'll be a
purpose.
little bit more like
Yeah.
calm down a little
That
bit,
was
right?
that was the throw him
He's
and
trying to
have him
blind
look
him.
at that. Yeah, because he's like, oh, he sees in thermal, and then he made that spear that it was like a homage almost to like the Dukes of Hazzard with like the dynamite on the end and throws that thing. He sees
No,
it.
it was
Kinda
it
like,
was the 203 round that he hand opened
Yeah,
and
because you
poured
can
it
do
in
that.
and poured it into that leaf and then
yeah,
he
yeah,
formed the head of the arrow with that.
yeah.
Yeah.
He made that. He made it into like a
No.
javelin type
Yeah.
spear and explosive. That's what I was saying. It was like an homage to the Dukes of Hazzard because you got, in the Dukes of
Explosive
Hazzard,
blows.
it's dynamite on the end of an arrow. That was his Dukes of Hazzard moment.
Oh man, yeah.
We had that end scene where when Arnold's cornered, he knows it. And he's like, "Come on, kill me! Come on now, do it now!" You're right, man. On the humor, like because the Predator like feels the poke and he's like, "Huh?" And dude, that look on Schwarzenegger's face when he jumps
You're
over
like,
and he's like, "Oh shit!"
like, oh damn.
And then he's like,
But
"Oh,
then
bam!" Drops straight on him.
yeah, drops a log on him. And then and the countdown on the watch, dude. I
Especially with
don't
Billy's
care.
laugh, dude.
Right. And you can okay, I can't make out those numbers, but I know what that sound means, right? And he just takes off running. Again, like I said, when people start running, you start running. If no one's gonna ask, hey, why are you running? No, you're gonna run with him because he's running away from something, just start hauling ass. And of course, they always manage to jump out of the way right before the explosion, like he knew how much time he had left. No, okay, how did you manage to know exactly when that was gonna blow up? Or that it wasn't gonna be nuclear. Like so, like, yeah, jumping behind this log probably ain't gonna help me much. But
It almost was
fortunately,
nuclear.
right? I mean, that thing was not just a grenade, right? This was like
No, definitely not.
oh man, this thing is going to be massive, right?
Hey,
And
that's
then,
what
of
happens
course,
when you don't update your Apple Watch. It overheats. Hey, that's what'll
I don't
happen.
know, I don't know, I don't have an Apple Watch.
That was a space Apple Watch.
And then at the end, who's on the chopper?
Kevin Peter Hall.
There you go. That's a
Yep.
little movie trivia for you guys. So
I was
you
waiting
get
to
to
see
see
if you're
the
gonna get it.
Predator outside of costume.
Plays
And
one of
he's
the
on
pilots.
the helicopter. Yeah, one of the pilots for the helicopter. But once again, man, Predator, one of my all-time favorite action movies.
Oh yeah.
And I will say this, and I always found this interesting. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger doesn't really do like sequels, right? Outside of Terminator, of course, and a couple of Conans. He's like a one and done. Like he's not like your Rambo, Rocky, like Stallone type. He does like one and done. Now it seems to me like they kind of maybe want to go a different way with Predator. Like we're going to make it about the Predator and not about the action star. You know what I mean? So that's why Predator always changes whoever the protagonist is in the movie. So it's about the predator, and then whatever his prey is at that point is just what the movie's about, like Alien versus Predator and Predator 2 starring Danny Glover. And
Yeah, man. And that just so happens to be my pick of the week too,
Bill
because
Paxton.
it was a toss up for me. Are we rolling into this?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just kind of took the
Yeah,
lead
let's
and ran
go
with
into
it,
the
bro.
recommendations. I mean, I know
Yeah,
this ain't gonna watch Taste Out Your Mouth because it's a great movie, so you don't need to watch Taste Out Your Mouth, but we're gonna give you some more
yeah.
to go along with it. We're gonna give you some hors d'oeuvres with this main course.
Yeah, so Predator 2, fun fact, they tried to get Schwarzenegger to come back, but he was already committed to another project. So they changed it up and they made it was actually going to be very close to the same storyline they had with Danny Glover's character, Mike Hardigan, and Ruben Blade and Gary Busey, and of course the always amazing Bill Paxton,
Yes,
proving once
sir.
again the only guy to ever get killed by a predator, an alien, and a Terminator. Uh,
To
yeah,
date.
man. And he's fantastic. He plays a good guy in this, actually. He plays one of the cops that's on Danny Glover's squad. So, uh, major gang war on the LA streets in the semi-near future. And basically, cops caught in the middle and predators coming down for hunting season. And honestly, had the best tagline on any movie poster I've ever seen. He's like, he's in town with a few days to kill. And I was like, fucking magic, man. I never forgot that shit after having watched the movie in theaters back when it came out. I think it was in 91. Anyways, it's on Hulu, man. Highly recommend check it out if you guys like the feedback we gave you on Predator.
Absolutely. That's another
Yeah.
great one.
Yeah, definitely great flick. You couldn't go wrong with that. So I'm going to stay in the Arnold vein. You know me, guys. I love the 80s. So I got another good one for you. Commando, right? Great movie. He's
Okay.
still an SF guy. So essentially, Arnold's playing a retired SF colonel, I think it was. And, one of his old subordinates is kind of working with a nemesis from their past, and they basically want to pull him back into the game and have him do this op, and he doesn't want to. They kidnap his kid and gave him a certain amount of time to do it, or they were going to kill his daughter. And I think they pulled him back in the opposite way they planned on doing it. And Arnold was like, "Okay, I'm all in." And so between him and Radon Chan, they wipe some people out. I mean, from saw blades to the head to
Oh, yeah.
unlimited ammo to quad launchers to police chases. You
Don't
name it.
forget Steam Pipe.
Oh yeah, little awesome steam Bennett. To Porsches that get destroyed, and then all of a sudden the Porsche's back. It was typical 80s, but he kills a South American army of sorts. Who knows, another fictitious dictator country group of guys, but same kind of concept, right? Arnold's running around with unlimited everything, destroying everybody, grenades that blow up everything to include like barracks and I mean just all together Arnold fun. You love it. He never gets shot, whether he's running out in the open and 50 people are shooting at him or he's just standing there. It's still a great movie. I highly recommend it. If you guys want to check this one out, it's over on Amazon Prime, and you're probably gonna have to rent it. Last time I checked, it's like $3.99. This is how they do it, right? They have a whole bunch of them, and they pick one of the best ones and make you pay for it, even though you have a subscription. So thank you, Amazon. We really appreciate it.
Oh, dude, this is my week.
Dude, best chain vest ever.
I lied. Oh,
Right.
dude.
Oh, so good.
I love it. You get to hide behind like a porcelain statue and not get shot. Great. Um,
Yeah, don't wake up my friend. He's dead tired.
I still say it's a cross universe because it's the house from Beverly Hills Cop, man.
yeah,
Please
right.
get shit shot out of it all the time.
All right, guys. So my pick is, and I know the guys went with some, like Schwarzenegger themes and Predator theme. I also went with somewhat of a Schwarzenegger theme. So this show now is an animated series, much like the Love, Death, and Robots on Netflix, and it's called Secret Level on Amazon Prime. If you're into any type of animation short stories, you have to see this. The shows are like 15 minutes each, so it's not a long watch. So it's like one of those short stories, and every story is different. So there is one, I believe it's episode 3 called New World, and it's actually the voice of Arnold Schwarzenegger who plays the king, right? So it's funny, they end up on this island, and on the island you can't be killed, right? So every time, well, you can be, but you're reincarnated, you come back to life. So he wants to take over from the king who's already there, and it's just it's like Arnold Schwarzenegger type funny, right? Like he's like doing everything he can to kind of take over this island from this king. And he goes in to fight this demon, and you hear him like in the background, like screaming, like, "Oh, my pancreas!" Like stuff like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, and it's just funny to hear him say it, but it's one of those things that it's a good watch. It's entertaining. There's another episode that has Keanu Reeves in it, and the likeness of the animated character looks like Keanu Reeves. You know what I'm saying? He's played this old pilot. That, and I don't want to give away the stories because there's so many. But I would say my favorite is Sifu, which is episode 2. Awesome concept. Like this guy is basically trying to get revenge on people who kill his father, and it's like a supernatural where he gets killed, but he comes back to life, and every time he comes back to life, he comes back slightly older because it's almost like he's learning from the last thing that happened. So he comes back aged. Like every time he comes back, he's older and older, but he finally gets revenge. And then he goes like I don't even want to get into the whole thing, but you have to see Secret Level if you haven't seen it already. Like I said, if I were to give you episodes to watch right off the bat, it would be episode 2, Seafood, episode 3, New World, and then episode, I believe it's 8, is the one with Keanu Reeves. Definitely fun to watch if you're into any type of animation. And the animation is top notch. It's like one of those, like the video game shorts. You have those video games like they show you the theatrical scenes, stuff like that along those lines. Very good show. Very good
Isn't
show.
there
I
one
haven't seen an
episode that's
episode I
like
don't like.
there's an episode that's like Halo or Gears of War, I think, or
Right, yeah,
related
like
to video
armored
games?
armor core stuff like that. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Oh,
very
okay.
good,
Okay.
I
very
saw
good.
the
I haven't
trailer
even
for it. It
finished it
looks
myself,
really
but it's
good.
great. 15 episodes I think for each season, but they're only
Huh.
15 minutes long. So,
Do you have to
and
rent it or buy it, or is
oh
it
It's
like
nope,
part of
free
it's
with
Prime.
the?
free on Amazon Prime. If you have
That's
Amazon
awesome.
Prime, it's free.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
I
would
would
check that one
just
out.
check out one, and you don't have to watch them in sequence. You can watch them in any order. They don't, coincide with each other, but great show. I love it.
Hmm.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
Oh, awesome. So, with that said, I don't think we got a poll for you guys this time around,
Well, I can throw
or
one
unless
out.
I'm like
I'm gonna throw one
missing
out real
it.
quick. All
Oh
right,
shit.
we're gonna
Shooting,
do
shooting from the hip, just like Arnie.
That's what
there
I'm
you
saying. It
go,
worked. It worked in
and
the
he's gonna
80s. It's
be
got to work
included.
now.
So, of course, as we know, there are tons of one-liners in movies, tons of them. I mean, we can do this all day long. So, this is gonna be our first of best quotes. All right. So we have the infamous "I'll be back," Terminator by Arnold Schwarzenegger. We have "You're gonna need a bigger boat," Jaws, Roy Schneider. We have "You gotta ask yourself one question: Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?" Clint
Yeah,
Eastwood,
Clint
Dirty Harry.
Eastwood.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of
Ooh.
bubblegum.
Oh,
Day,
yes.
man.
Roddy Piper.
Yes,
They
Rowdy.
live. All right. So again, go to the community tab, guys. Vote on your favorite quote, and then again, we'll go through some more, but these are the first of the best movie quotes out there. And if you guys have suggestions, please definitely contact us, get in the subscription, get in the likes. We are responsive, so we do try to, give you guys what you want, but you got retired veterans here. This is how we run this. We run this based on what we enjoy, what we like, what we think you guys will like. But it's stuff that is close to us, things that we enjoy, like the old movies. We're going to be digging in the crates a lot. Like sometimes there's just not a lot of good movies that are currently out. So we will dig in the crates, man. We'll go to the vinyls. Like I'm not afraid to throw the record player on. Like just understand that. So if you have something you guys want to share with us, feel free.
Hey, and I still want those sunglasses, by the way. I've been wanting those since I was a kid.
Man, they
I
need to
actually
cover
don't-
some things.
Well, they get migraines, man. So I don't know if any of us need that anymore because I think all of us suffer migraines. I would say though, next poll, if we do this quote thing, we should do quotes from the movie because I was rattling off like 4 or 5 quotes in my head just from Predator. I was like, oh, this will
Right.
get
Oh, yeah.
interesting.
That's what I'm saying. So this thing can roll on for who knows how long.
Yeah. Cool,
Yeah,
man.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, that kind of wraps it up for us, man. We're glad you guys joined us. And again, get in the comment section, like, subscribe, notification bell, because we got plenty more to come. Even though there hasn't been a whole lot that's come out, that's been great thus far this year. And I dare I say, even, towards the tail end of last year, we got a pretty packed schedule of what we believe are going to be some good ones that you guys will enjoy. But that doesn't mean you can't leave recommendations. There's always room for recommendations, and we can cover that in another time, or maybe move some stuff around and put it in a window we already have. But with that said, man, We appreciate it again, and you guys stay classy. All right, scorched earth out of here.
Big Nick Fury.
Bad Brother Rambo out here.